Welcome to Wednesday Night Live from the Basement. Here's your hosts, Rob, Daryl, and Joe.
Good evening, everybody. Joe, Daryl, Tim, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, thanks.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
I got no snow, or at least it hasn't hit me yet.
That'd be a good idea for a song. It hasn't hit me
I
yet.
should write that song, and then someone should interview a guy from the band that writes that song.
We should. I'm
I
sure
think
we'll
someone
talk to him.
did. No, not the writer, but
I'm
yeah,
sure
that was an
we'll-
awesome interview, Rob.
You like that, eh?
Yeah, I liked it.
It was fun. Glenn was a super easy guy to talk to.
Yeah.
And really, it was not a hassle at all to set up. I mean, he does these things, right? I've seen him do a couple other like podcast interviews and stuff. So he and I are friends on Facebook. We met a few times. Not that he would remember who I was up to this point, but I just sent him a message on Facebook and said, "Hey, man, you got a YouTube channel, talk about records. Love to interview you. I've already done an interview with Bob. Check it out." And he responded literally within a matter of a couple hours. Said, "Yeah, absolutely. When you want to do it." So then we scheduled it for a break during the tour, and it was great. He was great to talk to. So.
Yeah, I didn't end up going to see Blue. I talked myself out of not go. Look, if my old man was gonna come, then because he's a big Adam Baldwin fan. You got me into Adam Baldwin. I got him into Adam Baldwin, but he wants to go see him on a solo show. So
Adam was so good. Adam was so good at that show. He didn't come out, didn't have any merch, didn't sign anything, didn't make an appearance at all. But he was so good. I mean, I'm a massive Adam Baldwin fan. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Record Hound, welcome. Chris, the Vinyl Man, how you doing? And Trevor, how's everybody doing tonight? Trevor likes our title, "The West Coast is the Best Coast." So
He is a West Coast dude now.
he
I'm
is
from
now,
the East
but
Coast, so I'll just go with it.
a Detroit boy by birth. So
That's right.
that's close to our neck of the woods. So
Yeah.
Oh, and here's Julie. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
So three of us are bracing for a giant snowstorm. Not Joe, because no snow in Saskatchewan right now. But
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't say I'm ready for this. I'm not a big fan of winter to begin with, especially not a storm in November. I can tolerate a storm in January, but I'm not ready.
Yeah, I'm not sure why we're getting spared right now, but I'll take it because we'll get some at some point, and it will be shitty, and it will be cold, and it will be all the things that it is here. So yeah, I'm just happy we're not for now, but we'll see what happens. It's not that I wish it on you guys. I don't wish it on anybody. I'm just happy it's not coming around here for now.
And in typical fashion, I have procrastinated. My snowblower needs a tune-up desperately. It won't start and needs a new belt and a few other things. I've not done that. And I've also not got my snow tires on yet. So I'm not going anywhere tomorrow or Friday. I'm just going to stay around the old homestead. So
Brian,
how you doing, sir? Brian did a cool video the other day where he was at the, and I'm going to get the name wrong, like the Imperial Palace or whatever in Tokyo, and he's doing a walk around, and at the end he gets in his car and drives by the Budokan so everyone can see the Budokan. And as a big music fan, it was kind of cool to see that. So
exactly, it would be a place. I think it would be a place if we were all there, we'd all go for no other reason to go, hey, look, I was at the Budokan, right? I mean, it's just one of those classic venues.
It's like that, or the Royal Albert Hall, or the Fillmore.
Yeah, it definitely falls into that as far as I'm concerned, and obviously, so yeah.
Alex, how you doing, buddy? Everybody's here tonight.
Yeah.
Do we have anything exciting to talk about before we talk about records? Black Friday Record Store Day is coming up in a couple days.
Are you guys getting anything for it, or?
Two things I'm looking for. Blue Rodeo's Song Seldom Heard. Now, here's the weird thing about that. It's a Black Friday Record Store Day issue, but it's also available from the Warner Canada Music Store, and I bought it a week ago, but it hasn't shipped yet, so I don't know if I'm getting it or not. And then the other thing, the band is releasing Jericho on vinyl, which was the first album after Robbie Robertson. But I got to get it anyway. Other than that, speaking of that, Chris is saying I'm pissed about that being they don't have it in England. So I'll keep an eye out for you, Chris. If I see it, I'll hook you up, brother.
Yeah.
So
I'm feeling my age this week because last week I went to McCartney. I went to both shows in Montreal.
Oh, I saw the pictures of you wearing the Sgt. Pepper get up.
Yeah. That's just me.
And how was it? Was it? I had a friend that went to it in Hamilton and said it was amazing.
Yeah.
There you are.
Nice.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah, I went to both shows. Late nights getting back. I just drove back right after the show. And then I curl on Thursdays. So that was a late night. So I'm still recuperating from last week.
We're getting fucking old, fellas. That's
so
the
problem. I'm like, damn, like, this is what it's like?
Oh my God, I went out twice in 1 week. Holy shit, right?
Yeah, it's a great show though.
Yeah. He's just good. I mean, it's been a number of years since I've seen him, but I don't imagine that it's changed a whole bunch. And it's just a good show.
He doesn't like both shows were copy paste. Same
were they?
Same songs, same filler, same jibber jabber, same.
Yeah,
like he's pretty much got it's basically.
Well, he's also 80 whatever years old. So
yeah, but it's more just the environment and the experience and. When you're in there, there's an energy, and it's awesome.
You're there to see one of the greatest music legends that has ever lived.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or not, you're just there to say you've seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's not speak of the Anthology Clown Show.
Well, let's speak of the Anthology Clown Show. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Welcome.
Nice, Scott.
What's your thoughts on the Anthology Clown Show? I have thoughts as well.
Well, there's the Dumpster Fire, which is Real Love, right?
Yes.
Which you know about? Yeah.
Yes.
Changing lyrics, removing guitars, shortening the song by 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting rid of George's guitar part, which arguably is the best part of the song.
Arguably, yeah. Yeah.
The plus side, though, is Lennon's vocals sound way better.
Yeah.
I think. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get 10 new tracks for $90. Like it's crazy.
I bought it because Beatles completist.
I did too.
I didn't buy the whole box set. I just bought volume 4.
Me too. Me too. Because I have 1 to 3.
I already have 1 to 3, and I don't need them remastered because they're archival tracks anyway. So who gives a shit?
Exactly.
But I was, and I've said it before. I did a video on this when they first announced it. Half the tracks that are on volume 4 are in the Let It Be box and the Pepper box and all those other reissues that came out a few years ago. So I have those. So yeah, it's like 13 new songs. And even still you go, do I really need an outtake of I've Just Seen a Face? No. There's nothing. I mean, they could have, if it were me, and it's not, I don't know why, but they should hire me. Why not put out some of the Star Club stuff that Peter Jackson's been working through before? Throw 3 or 4 of those. You can't tell me he doesn't have 3 or 4 of those tracks done. Even if they're not great, there's still, there's stuff on Anthology 1 that's not great because it's recorded off the radio. So put a couple of those in there. Put the entire Decca auditions. Like they put 3 or 4 of them in Anthology 1. Put the rest of it in there. Actually release the remastered Rooftop concert. Yes, they did it digitally, but put it on a record. Put out Carnival of Light. Like there's stuff that could have been in there and just wasn't. Put the original demos of Free as a Bird and Real Love so we can hear what they started like. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could have done a lot better, but instead we get tracks of songs. You're just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, and not like anyone's gonna not that it's any good. And anyone's probably going to hear it more than once. But Carnival of Light, do you think they'd ever release that?
Probably not. But it's one of those you want to hear it, right? Like,
yeah.
I've heard Revolution No. 9 once, and that's all I need to hear, but I've still heard it, right? Yeah. And it's kind of in that same kind of thing.
Yeah, and I guess it's 20, 25 minutes long. They could put it on one side and then on another side put a bunch of other experimental stuff that they did.
Sure. They could have done a better job. I'm glad we got the remastered Free as a Bird, Real Love, and Now and Then. Real Love, yeah, they kind of fucked it up, but
yeah,
whatever. It was kind of a cash grab, I guess. I'd like to see the extra episode they did of the TV thing, but apparently they've shortened all those episodes too. So
yeah, that premieres tonight, I believe, eh?
I think so. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Daryl, Chris wants to know, are you okay? You're not wearing your Nickelback shirt. He's worried.
Chris, we're in the middle of a big storm up here. I think I lost it in the snowbank.
What a
That's right.
shame.
Yeah. The polar bear came in. He was cold because all the friggin' snow.
Yeah, you see a polar bear walking
wandering
around town with a Nickelback shirt.
That's right.
No. I think after wearing it for 2 weeks straight, I had to give it a little bit of a wash. It's in the laundry.
No matter how many times you wash it, it'll never be clean, Daryl.
I would pay to see a polar bear wearing a Nickelback T-shirt.
That'd be
I don't know
hilarious.
how much I'd pay, but I'd pay to see that. I don't know.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be great. So,
Scott's saying in reference to Record Store Day, he has to get the Curtis Mayfield because he doesn't have it, and he wants Bobby Womack live and Soul Coughing remixes. Scott, that Curtis will be hot. Maybe the Wilco. What's the Wilco? I didn't know there was anything Wilco coming out of Record Store Day. I'll have to check that. And apparently the Jays have landed themselves a top pitcher. I haven't read the news in the last couple of days. Who did we get?
I didn't see that. I saw that there was someone they had on their prospect list that was in a car accident and passed, but I know that's completely different than signing a top pitcher. But yeah, I don't know. I hadn't seen that. Not sure.
Are we keeping Bichette? Do you know? Was there any? I didn't see the news about.
We still don't know. Apparently, we're close to signing a deal for Dylan Cleese. Dylan Cease. That might be interesting. I don't know. I don't know who else is on there. So, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that could be. Oops, this one here. I don't know. We need to sort out the Bichette thing. Either sign him, or let's get on with finding a replacement. There's a couple routes we could go. We also need to lock down that bullpen. We need a closer because Hoffman ain't it. I'd like us to sign Bassett again and let him be our setup man or our long man.
When that ninth hitter hit a home run, I thought of you, Rob. I'm like,
I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Okay. The ninth hitter.
My therapist says I'm not allowed to talk about that for a little bit.
Our ninth hitter hit home runs too.
Yeah.
Not Wilco proper. It's a comp of DP15 or whatever that label is. Okay. Gotcha. Richard, welcome. Record Hound saying, I'd maybe like Welcome to Nightmare Live 75. There you go. What else we got? Anything else? Nothing else?
Nope, not really. I got nothing for Record Store Day. We're not selling any. I'm not buying any, and away we go. So, and Taylor Swift has new versions of the newest album out, but she's only selling them on her website. So
what? More new ones?
Yeah, there's more new variants as well. She's pissing me off a little bit. Like, I mean, they're only going to press so many. It's not like I'm going to get any at the store, but she is definitely drawing everybody more so just to her site, which is, it's her prerogative, but it'd be nice if, because she's done a lot of really good things for the record industry.
I don't see that on there. I don't see that on there.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's 3 new ones, I thought. I can't remember what they are. But
well, there was ones when it came out, and they were limited, and then they sold out. Yeah, you can get them on Marketplace for like $60.
Yeah.
Weird.
$150.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'd just like to see her put some of that stuff out if she's going to do it. But that's just me.
So this is an interesting question because I've asked myself the same thing. So on Jericho, which is the album that the band is putting out on Record Store Day minus Robbie Robertson, they cover Springsteen's Atlantic City. Which do I love most? Ooh, that's like asking someone to pick their favorite children because I love the Springsteen version. But I love the band version too.
What about the new Springsteen version?
I love that too.
So there's that. That's in the mix now as well, which is
I think, and this might be a hot take, I think the band edges Bruce out a little bit, just for the vocals alone. I think are a little bit better on the band version. I know that's sacrilegious to say, but I love them both. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta nudge it out for the band just a little bit. So, yeah. Scott saying I found a clean copy of Rattle and Hum today. My favorite U2 album. God, I love that record. Love it. Chris knew I was going to say that. Yep. Tough call, though. All right. We're talking West Coast today. Why? I have no idea because Joe came up with it. There you go.
And I have no idea. Well, I have a little bit of an idea. I was on with Chris Mann, and somebody brought up a band from Vancouver, and that put me in the mind of the West Coast on Sunday. So that's probably why. And beyond that, just because there's lots of cool bands from the West Coast.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be easy till I sat down and pulled records. It was not easy. I don't have a ton from the West Coast, and there's a large percentage of what I did pull that are all interrelated, which you'll see. Most of my stuff is Canadian or British or like Southern, like not Southern rock, but rootsy kind of stuff. So you don't have a ton of West Coast. Now that doesn't necessarily mean West Coast of America. It could be West Coast of the United Kingdom, which would make it, the Stereophonics, because they're from Wales. You could go that way if you really wanted to. I didn't, but I just thought of that now, and I could have pulled it. But however you define West Coast, and for what reason, no idea. We're just gonna, something different. So,
because a West Coast party is the best Coast party, and the whatever the hell the rest of the lyrics from Coolio are. I don't know. I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course, Chris thinks the West is the best because he's in the West part of the United Kingdom. So, all right, Joe, this was your. I'd normally let the guest go first, but this is your idea, Joe. So you're going to set the bar first. Then we'll go to Tim. Then we'll go to Daryl, and then I'll forget that it's my turn and screw things up. So,
cool. Sounds good. So there's a new band that I have been made aware of. I've got a couple of their albums so far. This is the second one. It's the Stereophonics. Is the band?
I've never heard of them.
Yeah. So just got this one the other day. Just listened to it today. It's good. It's a little different than the other that I have, and I can't even remember the friggin' name of the other album that I have. But Chris is working on some stuff for me. But yeah, I'm glad that there's a lot of times where we're watching these and bands are suggested, and we all want to go and pick them up. Well, I actually went ahead and actually did pick some of these up. Some cool artwork on this one as well. Yeah, there you go, Chris. So, but yeah, lovely gatefold as well. I think this is, Chris, is this the second newest album? I believe that it is. It's from a little while ago, not too long. I can never friggin' read dates on these fucking things because my eyes are blind. Well, no, it's 2000. Yeah, this is 2025, but originally 25. I don't know. Anyway, Stereophonics from Tenby, which is the west coast of Wales. And I did go with the west coast. So there you go. Because you're right. It is not necessarily the west coast of Canada and or North America. It's the west coast of wherever. This happens to be the only one I have. And I wanted to get that in for our buddy Chris. But there you go. 2005, their fourth album. That is correct. This is a 2025 release version of it. And I'm working on some more Stereophonics, but I do enjoy them. So check them out. Not only because Chris Mann will be on your ass for days and months and years until you do, but they're also pretty darn good. I enjoy them as well. So there you go, the Stereophonics, and it's a lovely pink vinyl.
All right.
Yeah.
Now to our honored guest, Tim.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a left turn here. So as soon as you said West Coast, I immediately thought of this or this or whatever they do.
Right.
And pulled out. Not that I ever play air guitar to this or sing along, but it was heavily played when I was in school, and that would be the All West Folks of NWA.
There you go.
Yep. So not one I play a lot, but one that stores a lot of memories.
And the autograph story behind that is what?
Oh, that's Ice Cube.
Right. How did you get that?
At the hotel. He was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's actually really nice.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know if who's into the whole rap stuff, but you know, Straight Outta Compton, The Police, of course, right, is a big one. Gangsta Gangsta, you know, right up there with all those other K-Tel songs that you all love and know, right?
Absolutely.
I got that album. It's a good album. I don't have a lot. I'm not a big rap aficionado by any means.
No, like I don't rock out to it or anything, but I put it on.
I have always wanted to get that album. I got to watch it, right? Because I got kids. I can't play. Yeah. I can't play Cypress Hill half the time. I do have them too.
Yeah.
I probably could have I don't know if Cypress Hill is from the West Coast though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember if Cypress Hill is. There might be another hip hop artist that will come up from the West Coast.
Ice Cube reminds like NWA and Ice Cube and Body Count and all those groups. They were all cool.
Yeah, I only know like of Ice Cube. I know his solo work okay, but the rest of them I don't follow. I don't know them too much, but
the movie was good.
I had a student years ago that was in a cooking class of mine, and he used to refer to me as Raekwon all the time. And I was like, why do you keep calling me Raekwon? And then I realized from Wu-Tang, he went by Raekwon Chef. That was his name in the band. So he was giving me the props that I was Raekwon Chef as the teacher in this cooking class. I thought it was funny. Just another one of those, the legend, the Raekwon. I don't know.
Speaking of a legend, and our friend Curtis just happened to pop up there. We lost another legend. I would say Jimmy Cliff falls into that category, especially in his genre. So, again, unfortunately, another artist that has passed. I think we're all of the age now where we're starting to lose some of these guys. You know, I've got a couple of years on you guys, so I've got some artists that will maybe pass a little before some of those that you guys listen to a little bit more. But yeah, Jimmy passed away, a couple days ago now, I think, or something. So,
indeed. Okay, Daryl.
Okay. Well, I was a little late getting my records today, but the first band that I thought of instantaneously, and I'm going to have a few of these. Some of these are definitely going to be dedicated to Trevor. I do have a few from Seattle here. Obviously, grunge music is pretty much part and parcel of the Seattle scene and all that. And by far, my favorite grunge band has always been, regardless of the tragedy and all this kind of stuff, has always been Alice in Chains. And this is the Dirt album. This is the one that has Rooster. It's got Sick Man. What else is on here? It's got Them Bones. It's got Angry Chair. It's got Wood. So this one was a big album with hits. You know, I'm not a huge grunge fan, but I've always appreciated Alice in Chains for sure. And this is kind of on a weird looking, like, I call it vomit orange. I don't know. It's a weird orange colored vinyl, but like I don't have Nirvana. I have another one that I'll talk about later, but I'm not, as much as I like and appreciate Nirvana, I don't know if I really need Nevermind and all that. Although in Utero would be a nice one, but I'll start off with grunge music because to me that pretty much solidifies what Seattle was about, at least in the mid to late 80s and early 90s. So there we go. Alice in Chains.
All right.
I cannot get that their original that's getting reissued. I know you had mentioned that. We can't get that. I think that is a web store and or Universal Music exclusive. I think. I'm not positive, but
you're talking about the self-titled, that tripod one with the dog on it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That'd be a cool one to get. Morton keeps talking about it because it is a good album. It's just super hard to find.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to get. And I mean, obviously, if you know, people aren't familiar with the tragedy. I mean, they lost Lane Staley to heroin addiction, and they lost Mike Starr, the original bassist, to the same thing. And Mike Starr was actually on that Dr. Drew Pinsky show and
Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah, and he got through it, but then he just relapsed, and Yeah, it's a sad story, but I mean, they're still playing with, you know, a new lead singer and stuff like that. So kind of a neat era, but I know grunge isn't for everyone. It's a depressing road to go down if you listen to some of the lyrics on their songs.
Yep. Okay.
What do you got, Rob?
Well, speaking of how grunge is not for everybody, fucking hate grunge. Can't stand it. Don't listen to it. Never liked it. I understand how important it is, and it shaped a decade, and good. I'm just not going to listen to it. I think part of the reason I'm not going to listen to it, and I can't stand it, is I had a roommate in university, and the only thing that he listened to every goddamn day for 3 years was Nirvana. Every single day. And so if I ever hear another Nirvana song, I'm good. I don't need it. Never a fan.
I think
I don't have any of that. I also don't have any of like the West Coast rap shit because I'm not into rap either. So I'm just a grumpy old man.
Yeah, growing up, everybody's birthday, I want Nirvana. So I must have bought 6 copies of Nirvana for everyone else. I didn't listen to it.
Right.
So many years later, I don't mind it now. It's not my go-to, but I must have bought the record 6 times for people for birthday gifts.
I have the Unplugged on CD because someone gave it to me back in the day, and it's fine. I haven't probably listened to it in 20 years. That's it. So I'm going to be the grumpy old man of the group. I'm going to go way back because the first thing I thought of when I thought of the West Coast, I thought of California, and this is probably one of the older records in my collection. But when I think California, I think the Beach Boys. Am I a Beach Boys super fan like Americana Sam? No. I like some of the stuff. I like the early albums.
Now everybody in the VC, well, not everybody, but a lot of people in the VC crap on Pet Sounds. What's your thoughts on it?
Love it. Love it.
Yep.
I it's not something I listen to with a lot of frequency because there are highs and lows to that album for me. You know, there's parts of it that don't hold my interest as much as others, but even the parts that don't, I still appreciate for being really bloody innovative at the time. And that whole Rubber Soul, Pet Sounds, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, that whole, competition there for a couple of years between Lennon, McCartney, and Brian Wilson is incredible. I mean, what those 3 guys did for music in the middle of that decade was pretty cool. So I like the early Beach Boys stuff. I like more so because I like surf rock. I think surf guitar players, guys like Dick Dale and that, are fascinating. They're bloody fast, and this isn't surf music per se. It's whitewashed surf pop, if you want to call it that. But hey, it's fun, and it led Brian Wilson down to the stuff they would get into later, like God Only Knows, which I think is one of the most beautiful songs ever written. So I've got, I think, the first, 8 or 9 albums. So I pulled this one, Surfin' Safari. It's the first album when David Marks was still in the band. This is actually an OG first pressing from back in the day, and it's in pretty remarkable shape. So there you go. We'll start with the Beach Boys. Get Off My Lawn, Rob. Yeah, that's exactly me. Get off my lawn. Yeah. Not shy about that. This probably won't surprise anyone. I'd be happy with just the greatest hits when it comes to the Beach Boys. I get that too, man. I mean, I like some of the early deep cuts, but when I hear some of the stuff Sam talks about the later stuff, I have no interest in that. I sort of lose interest after Pet Sounds. Some of the Smile stuff was okay, and then I'm just like, yep. Especially when Mike Love in the later years started, doing some of the absolute dribble that he did. Not interested. So,
Endless Summer and Pet Sounds. And Endless Summer, I mean, if you're going to, I think that they lend themselves to the location. If you're driving up and down the Pacific Coast Highway and you're not listening to the Beach Boys, then you're probably not doing it right. Kind of. I mean, they're definitely that. And because I don't listen to them a lot, and they were just here, whatever iteration, and I had no desire to see them. And it's not that I dislike them, but didn't care that much. But certainly, like I said, if I'm hanging out in a beach in Los Angeles or up the Pacific Coast Highway, the Beach Boys would probably make an appearance, and I would sit there and go, I'm listening to the Beach Boys as I sit on the beach and stare at the Pacific Ocean, which would be pretty cool. So
I have seen them. I've seen both Beach Boy bands. I've seen Mike Love's Beach Boys, which is him and what's his nuts, the guy that replaced Brian. Anyway, they were fine. Like they sound like a good cover band fronted by Mike Love, you know.
Sure.
And I think Mike Love's an asshat, just like others we've talked about, Don Henley and Glenn, in that same group. But it was a really fun show. The wife and I went and we had fun, but I didn't take it with a lot of seriousness. Also, John Stamos was playing drums, so take that for what it is. And then I saw Brian Wilson's band with Al Jardine, and that was phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Doesn't have the stage presence, especially Brian, because he was up there. And they played Pet Sounds in its entirety, and it was pretty awesome. So, what's record I was saying? Brian Wilson's stereo production work is incredible because he was deaf in one ear. Yeah, that's you don't think about that often, but what he composed, especially for songs like Good Vibrations, to get it to sound the way that it sounded. First of all, to be able to get that out of your head to a room full of musicians that had no idea what you were trying to accomplish, and then do it with one ear, incredible. So, yeah. They have a documentary on Disney Plus. Have not seen it, but I love the movie Love and Mercy that had John Cusack and Paul, what's his name, in it, that they did the biopic. I thought that was really good.
It was, yeah, agreed.
For some reason, I hear looks slightly different. Fun till my daddy takes my T-bone away. There you go. Okay, we'll go back to the top. Joe.
All right, I'm going to go in geographical order now, starting. I'm going to go down the West Coast, and I'm going to come back up the West Coast. So kind of the impetus for this is, again, I was on with Chris Mann and company on Sunday. I think this is where I also saw a band play this in the last week or so. It's Spirit of the West and Save This House.
I need that record.
Killer album. Home for Arrest.
Yes.
It could be I think it could be a West Coast Canadian anthem for sure, if not a whole Canadian anthem. It's just really, really good stuff. And Save This House as well as just everything on here. Really, really good album. Kind of sounds more East Coast than it does West Coast. I don't know, right? It would definitely fit as an East Coast album. So that's a bit ironic, not like Alanis ironic, but actually ironic that it is there from the West Coast. But good stuff. And I said it before, and I'm pretty sure the only band to ever use an erection on a horse as a line of a lyric. Not on this album, but on the other one. Right? So, yeah, good album. If you can find this, they're kind of tough, and I don't know if they reissued it or not. That's a promo copy, but it's one of those Canadian.
I've been looking for years for that.
People put a stamp on it. Yeah, that one's highly sought after.
Yeah,
and got a chance to see them back in the day. Well, not back in the day, because this is 2016, but their lead singer was passing away of brain cancer. But one last tour and did a fantastic job. Really great show. So that's kind of the impetus, I think, of this West Coast thing, was because somehow I've got this in my head and went, I've talked about it, but we need to let more people know about this band, Spirit of the West. And not just this album. They are very good in general. This is just a killer album.
I too have seen them live. I saw somebody get completely raged out by the lead singer of that band. Actually, somebody threw a bottle and it hit the lead singer while he was playing.
Oh shit!
And it was just at one of these local venues at my hometown. They played in front of about 150 people, and it was kind of one of those weird situations where he didn't stop playing his guitar. He just happened to catch the bottle and whip it back at him, and then he got tackled by the security in front of like 100 people. It was kind of funny. But yeah, no, I saw them, and then I had them autograph a poster for me. I don't know whatever happened to the poster, but I actually had a poster too. So it's one of the few concerts I've been to.
They were very good.
Chris Mann's asking this question. When we all answer this, Chris, their biggest hit, which is a monster hit in Canada that no one's heard outside of Canada, called Home for Rest.
Yeah.
Massive song. You would appreciate it, and everyone in England would appreciate it because it's a song about being away and drinking way too much that you're just destroyed and you need to go home for a rest. So
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of roots rock mashed with like pub music, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit,
Yeah,
like I say, a
definitely
little bit of East Coast Canadian
Yeah.
music. If you think of that, and you just kind of mix it up, but yeah, Home for a Rest was biographical from when they went over there and they toured,
Yep.
and it was like, okay, we got to stop, we got to go home for a while and rest. So
yeah. We've talked before, Chris, that they're, you know, Eastern Canadian music, and Curtis is sort of echoing this comment here. He thought they were from Newfoundland. East Coast Canadian music has a very sort of Irish Celtic feel to it because that's where everyone emigrated from. So Spirit of the West, although they're from the West, feel very East Coast, and there's a strong sort of Celtic, Irish sort of influence there, and sort of, again, kind of pub rock. So just go on YouTube and search for Spirit of the West, and then you'll have to blame Joe for wanting to buy a record.
yeah, 100%. And for what it's worth, there is a documentary which I'm looking up right now about that last tour with Paul Dano, as Richard brought up. So I'll see if I can find that, Chris, because if you can find it, maybe it's on somewhere that you can watch. I would watch it, and you'll get a little bit more of an indicator. But so, yeah,
Yes.
Great album. Great album.
Yes,
Great
Chris,
fun.
I know you're not from England. I generalize United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Pardon me. That's like calling us Americans, I know, and that's highly insulting. So I get it.
Yeah, it's got kind of those great big sea vibes, but
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
more gritty. I find like a little more
Yeah.
sloppy. You know, it's awesome.
Yep. Exactly.
Like kind of like Mary Mac or something like that. You know, like that kind of
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Tim. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not getting off the bus just yet. I'm still on the westbound train. I'm just gonna show one more. Why not, right? And that'll be, I think he's within the same realm of NWA, and that'd be none other than the wicked Snoop Lion or Snoop Dogg. Yeah, he was awesome. He's actually a lot of fun live. But don't expect for him to show up on time. He pulls the Axl Rose quite a bit.
He's been touring a lot more as of late. I know that Tim's a little broken up there.
Am I still there?
Yeah, you are now. Yeah, but yeah, he's been out on tour quite a bit in the last while.
Okay,
At least
sorry,
I know he
guys.
played back and forth Canada a couple of times. So
Yeah.
I love that album, Gin and
Oh,
Juice.
yeah.
Gin and Juice
Well,
is a great song.
I would show the gatefold, but that's probably not smart for you.
Rob might lose his channel.
For you too.
What?
Yeah, I
I don't want to lose my
Yeah.
channel. What happened?
don't know. You're gonna lose your channel if I show the gatefold, Rob.
Yeah, don't show the gatefold. I work too hard to keep
Yeah.
the channel, so let's not do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Chris has
Snoop Dogg
accepted
fan.
my
I
humble
still can't
apology.
believe that Snoop Dogg is a judge on The Voice.
Yeah.
He sits there beside Reba McEntire.
The guy's he's an awesome character though.
Actually, the fact that he was with Martha Stewart, though, doing all that cooking stuff, that's hilarious.
I don't think they were cooking
Yeah.
now.
he's done a lot of good.
Well, they might have been cooking.
Yeah.
True.
I was going to
True.
just say quick, he's done a lot of good in his community. He's got that football league he's started up, and he's done a lot of really good things. So he's not, he's a pretty good dude. I'd hang out with Snoop for a little while anyway. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Over to you, Daryl.
All right. Well, I don't know if you're going to show these guys, Rob, but I'm going to kind of tail off of what you were saying with that West Coast beach music, I guess you would call it.
Okay.
And I mean, these guys, I mean, there's a tragedy that's involved, and it's ironic because one of the songs that they wrote and sang is kind of turned out to be about that tragedy, and that is Jan and Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were from Pasadena, maybe, or something like
think
that.
so,
But
yeah.
this is a greatest hits compilation, the Jan and Dean story. But sometimes it's actually kind of funny. It's almost hard at times to tell whether it's Jan and Dean or whether it's the Beach Boys. There's a couple of songs that they do that sound very similar to the Beach Boys.
Yep.
But this has I Get Around. It's got Drag City, Little Old Lady from Pasadena, Fun, Fun, Fun. And I believe Dead Man's Curve is also on here. Yes, Dead Man's Curve, which was, the irony of the whole thing was one of them became paralyzed as a result of a car accident around a dead man's curve, right? So, but they're I like them. My dad used to play them when I was a kid. In fact, I think my dad played them more than the Beach Boys. And along with, groups, you talked about that whole beach scene, groups like the Ventures, the Beach Boys, Jan and Dean. I mean, it's just fun music.
Yep.
And I had to show them. Yeah.
I don't have any Jan and Dean, so I'm glad you showed it.
I was just going to say the Ventures have about 5,000 albums, actually. So I think that it's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's not. Well, it is a bit far off. But yeah, they have a lot of albums.
I mean, Wipeout is one of the most classic drum guitar instrumental combos ever, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I had the Safaris, but I don't. Anyway, Rob, what you got?
Okay. Tim's going to recognize this record, not because he's seen it, but this record came from Tim. 5440. This is the anniversary reissue that Tim picked up at a 5440 show. Had the entire band sign it. It even says to Rob from 5440, and then they all signed it, which is awesome. This is one of my favorites for that very reason, Tim. So thank you again.
Awesome.
100 times over. These guys are from Delta, British Columbia. They've been around. This came out in, I think, like 1987, I think I want to say. It's just the self-titled, everyone calls it the Green Album. Mm-hmm. I think they're still making records. They're still touring. They're that sort of Canadiana rock kind of thing. Their sort of claim to fame is on this album. They have a song called I Go Blind, which was made wildly famous by Hootie and the Blowfish. Mm-hmm. So most people think that's actually a Hootie song. No, it's a 5440 song. So this is just a great record. Canadian rock.
Yeah.
From West Coast guys. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. And what is it called? The Smiling Buddha Cabaret. Is that the other one? It's got Ocean Pearl on it. It's a really good song too.
That's a good one. I wish they'd there's the one it's got the brown and gray cover and it has like a radio on it. And that has
that's
casual.
Yeah,
what's that?
They haven't pressed that on vinyl yet. I'm hoping that they
That's
do.
what I'm saying. It would be nice because I think that's the one that has casual viewing on it, I think was the single.
I think they may have.
It's called Since When. That's what it's called. Since When.
Yeah.
So
they may have a Record Store Day album this year, maybe, or something. There is something coming out with Dear Dear. Actually, I think maybe that's it. I don't know, but yeah, good stuff. And for me, anyway, one of those bands that I've always enjoyed, and I finally got a chance to see them a couple years ago, and it's just hit after hit. They really have put out a lot of hit music. Not that necessarily means anything, but they really have had a lot of, they have a couple off of each album all the way along till, a little more recently, but just good stuff. So,
yep.
What do I see in the background there? Joe?
Yeah, well, I was gonna do 2 from Canada and then 2 from as I moved my way down, and then I
Yeah.
decided to do 1 as I moved down and 1. So this was gonna be the end as I came back up to Vancouver. But
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
5440, good stuff. Good stuff.
You want
Not
to
a
talk
bad
about that
album.
one?
Hey,
You want to talk about that one?
well, yeah, it's just I mean, it's great. It's is it 2 after the last 2 after the one you showed?
I think so. Yeah, I think
No,
so.
it's right after that one actually. So yeah, and then Fight for Love and Dear Dear and Smiling Buddha Cabaret and Trusted by Millions. They've had a very good solid career, and I think it's almost all the same dudes still. It's at least it's the main guys for sure, but great stuff off of here. One Gun. Yeah, I really like this album. I really like this album. So, and again, it was nice to see them live because they're one of those bands, or at least they were for me. I kind of forgot a couple of things, and that's always a nice surprise. Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about this song, and there was a couple of those, so it was kind of nice. Yeah, it was good.
I should show this because I broke our own rules. It's a gatefold. The original was not, but the anniversary one is. So
Yeah,
there's the gatefold, and they pressed it on. It looks clear, but it's kind of like a smoky white kind of clear vinyl. So milky, I guess you could say. So
nice.
I should pick up Smiling Buddha Cabaret because I do see that often enough. So
Yeah. There's I don't know if there's a bad one really. I think they're kind of a fairly solid band that if you like their style, they're like Sloan. Sloan's got.
I was just gonna say they're like
man.
Sloan.
Yeah.
Sloan's
They've
a
got
like
so many
Odds.
albums out, so yeah.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
all right.
Always dependable. Richard's saying that's my favorite 5440 album. Trivia for anyone in case you want to know the name 5440. Little historical context for it. In the 1840s, there was a dispute between Canada and America of the border between the U.S. and Canada, between British Columbia and Washington, or at that time it was the Oregon Territory. And James Polk, who was the president, I didn't Google this, I just remember because I have a history degree. His slogan was 5440 or fight. He wanted to move the border from the 49th parallel up to 54 degrees north, 40 minutes. And so that was kind of the rallying cry. And he was trying to sort of inspire people to kind of revolt and take up arms and annex that part of Canada. But thankfully it never happened. So that's where 5440 comes from, if anyone gives a crap other than me. There you go. Speaking of other fun facts, getting back to Jan and Dean. Jan and Dean were friends of the Beach Boys. Dead Man Kerr was written in response to Mel Blanc almost dying in a car crash. It's also where Sam Kinison wiped out.
Give me back.
Still find it weird that the Ventures are from Tacoma because Tacoma is known for surfing. There you go. Same with the Trashmen who did Surf and Bird. They were from Minnesota. Well, yeah, when you think surfing, you obviously think of Minnesota.
Yeah.
For
There are 10,000 lakes there. No, yeah, anyway. But none of them, I don't know if you can surf on any of them. I guess you throw a big enough stick of dynamite in a lake, you can surf on any lake.
Maybe.
Right?
All right. Back to the top. Joe.
Okay. I did listen to a lot of grunge and still do. But I'm not going with Nirvana. I'm going with Soundgarden. They just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I'm not really sure what the hell the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, but they're in there anyway, deservedly so. I've said before, I will say it again, Chris Cornell, one of the greatest voices in any kind of music as far as I'm concerned. Always great, really fit the genre well. They were fantastic. This album really good along with the others. Of course, then afterwards turned into Audioslave. Not turned into Audioslave because it was just Chris Cornell, but I really liked Audioslave. But we're staying on the West Coast and we're staying Seattle. Well, I'm making my way down, so I'm into Seattle now, but Soundgarden and Bad Motorfinger. So really good stuff for me because I did listen to a lot of grunge. I still do, and I enjoy it. So there you go.
I always found the video for Black Hole Sun. I remember the first time I saw it was the creepiest. That one scene there where the bodies are like thin and
Yep.
kind of creepy looking.
They were overshadowed, I think, to a certain extent by Nirvana, but everybody was overshadowed by Nirvana because there was Alice in Chains and there was Mother Love Bone and there was. But so they kind of held their own against Nirvana, I think, a little bit, right? And then went on beyond that. So, but yeah, like I said, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for what that's worth, and rightfully so. So.
Yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is almost kind of becoming a gong show now. Like, hey,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what their criteria seems to be these days for bands and musicians that go into it, because I don't know. It's hard to believe that it's hard to believe that it's taken this long to get like grunge bands and stuff in there. I know, like we talked about this earlier, that it's not for everyone, but I mean, when you pretty much define and create your own genre and you're not in the fucking Hall of Fame, that's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah,
I don't think there is criteria. I think it's kind of a popularity contest among the clique of administrative officials who represent some of the labels. That's all it is.
Yeah, and money. It's just about money. It's about, we'll put this on TV and then we'll sell records. And there's some cool collaborations come out of it. Like when some of the artists put in some of the bands, like Heart, when they played for Led Zeppelin, they did a killer job of the Led Zeppelin. And so there's that kind of stuff, which is cool. And then Cornell's daughter sang a song, in his place or whatever. So there's good aspects to it, but I think as an overall concept, it's kind of bullshit, and I don't really take much for granted. I don't take it seriously that much, but there's parts of it that are cool.
It's almost like some sports Hall of Fames now. I can't take, like, I look at. I know we don't talk sports and stuff like that, but I look at a guy like Pete Rose, for example. They banned him from the Hall of Fame, blah blah blah, for all this stuff. And you go back to the early days of the Hall of Fame, and I get it. These guys did stuff back when things were socially acceptable back in the day, but you allow them to stay in the Hall of Fame. But you're willing to dismiss a guy because he bet on some games. Like you said, it's a popularity contest at the end of the day. And now Pete Rose is going to get in.
I think that was inevitable. It's just because he never apologized what he did, and Manfred's a bit of an asshole, the commissioner. So, yeah. I mean, it was a foregone conclusion they were going to let him in after he died, so that he never got to see that he got in the hall. So, yeah, I'm sure he's not on the ballot this year, but I'm sure he will make the ballot next year. And I'm willing to bet that you'll probably see Shoeless Joe Jackson on the ballot at some point too, because he was banned for life for the very same thing. So, yeah.
Used to go to Vegas every once in a while, and Pete Rose was always in this card shop in Caesars signing autographs for $20-$30 a pop. But
yep.
So,
and good for him. Why not make some money on it?
Yep.
So, yeah, Record Hunt's right. It's mostly Rolling Stone magazine execs and critics. Yep. And this is the point I was going to make that Trevor's making. I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall. It was awesome. The actual hall part of it, where everyone is enshrined, is really underwhelming. But the museum that occupies the majority of the building is amazing. Like, the stuff you walk around and see is just, like, I remember the most vivid memory for me, it happened to walk around a corner and Hendrix's white Stratocaster is hanging on the wall. And I'm literally, it's encased in glass, but I'm a foot away from it, and I'm just like, I kind of had this, I don't know how to describe the moment, but as someone who appreciates guitars, obviously, I mean, he's arguably maybe the greatest guitar player ever, and you're looking at this going, he played that thing that is a foot in front of my face, and imagine what he played on that. I don't know, but there's a lot of that I found when I walked around it. The music that I love was made on that guitar, or, whatever. And it's for that experience, the Rock Hall is phenomenal. Who gives a shit about the hall? The museum part is just amazing. And yes, how the hell are they not in the Hall of Fame? I agree. So, That was Joe's turn, right?
Yeah.
So that makes it Tim's turn. I'm going to go all night, and I'm not going to screw this up tonight, fellas.
All right. Well, just because great minds think alike, I pulled one just in case anyone else didn't, but I kind of knew that you guys would. So I pulled this one. I pulled Dear Dear from 5440.
Perfect.
So just an honorary mention in case no one else pulled it. So I'm gonna go with. Let's go with. I saw these guys maybe a month ago. They put on a great show at it. There's a new venue in Ottawa, the Hard Rock Casino has a theater. They just built one here in Ottawa, and it's kind of weird. There's been some pretty interesting shows there so far. There's been who opened it? David Foster opened it, and then Avril Lavigne opened it the fall. Like so, that weekend that it opened was David Foster, Avril Lavigne, and since then they've had who's Bonham there? John Bonham.
Jason.
They've had Jason Bonham. Sorry, yeah. They've had Youngblood, that new guy that's everywhere. And they had these guys, and there was a good show. Loverboy.
Sweet.
Yeah, these guys were awesome. They don't like he's I know.
It's not Mike Reno though, is it?
It is.
It is
he
Mike
back?
Reno still.
It is,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
he looks a lot better now.
Because it
And he
wasn't
has
him
been-
for a while. They had someone else singing lead for the longest time, did they not? Am I imagining things?
I thought Mike's been hanging in for a while now. I don't know
yeah.
if it's been.
I
but-
thought they had someone else. I could be
No.
imagining things, but okay. Cool.
No.
He still sounded
But yeah,
good.
it was a great little show, and the sound was okay. It was okay. Mixed bag of it kind of sounds like a high school auditorium, so it's not super acousticy, but it's kind of intimate enough where it's not echoey, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I know it was a good show, Loverboy, and we're Wednesday night, so I'm working for the weekend, right?
That's right.
So, no, but they were great. They sounded pretty darn good. Mike's looking better. He's taking care of himself. Well, looks like anyway, a little better. So
And I think it's still Paul Dean. I think it's still Matt Frenette playing drums, isn't it? And I don't know.
it is. Matt Frenette's still there. Paul Dean is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much
Even the keyboard guy is the same guy. The only guy, there's only one that's swapped.
Yeah. It's pretty much original
Yeah.
Loverboy, which is odd because so many of those bands now you're lucky if you've got one guy in the band where they're the opposite. They've got one guy that wasn't and everybody else that is. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good. That's good on
Yeah.
them. So that's good.
Yeah.
Good old Matty Frenette. I think
That's
he's
it.
from Regina, or he was hanging around here for a while anyway. So I have a
Okay.
story of a cousin one day I'll tell, but it's long and I'm not going to do it now. So
Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
All right. Well, I too had Loverboy. I took out the love in every minute of it. One, they're associated with Calgary and Vancouver and those East Coast provinces. So I might as well just tail off of that with British Columbia and a band that's actually named after a city in British Columbia, even though they're from Vancouver. But they're named after the city that my mom was born in, which is Chilliwack, BC. And
Good one.
I think I showed this like a year and a half ago when we did that earworms episode. So you're gonna get earwormed right now because I'm gonna tell you that it's My Girl. She's been gone so long, which is an amazing track.
Thanks, Daryl.
You're welcome. But if I just say 80s Canadian rock music, everybody knows what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what these guys are. I think I have 3 of their albums. This is probably my favorite. Actually, no, I've got more than 3. I got some of the original ones. I've got both of their self-titled albums, which is funny. They're one of those few bands that have 2 self-titled albums. One has this weird-looking mask thing on it, but they do all kinds of cool songs. Want to Be a Star. This has, like I said, it's got My Girl. It's got I Believe. And blah, blah, blah. So You Want to Be a Star, which is the title track. So fantastic West Coast Canadian rock, early 80s. Ironically enough, my mom hates them. Absolutely despises them. I love them. Yeah, my mom was born there. My grandfather was stationed in the military before they closed the military base in Chilliwack. She was born there, and then they moved to Quebec City. So
They're on their farewell tour, actually, and Bill Henderson and the boys. And Bill sounds really good. I saw them 2 years ago. Bill Henderson sounds as good when he's doing Fly By Night. It sounds awesome, and they are good. I think Henderson might be the only one. There might be him and his brother, because there was the two brothers in the band, right?
is he still able to keep that high octave, or is he?
It's close. You know, you sing it in your head, the octave above, but it's close. It's not bad, actually. So yeah, it's pretty
like
good.
you said, Joe. I saw him that tour too as well 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he was here in Ottawa on Remembrance Day. I didn't go, but my buddy went, and he said it was really good.
Yeah, it's good still. Took does a really good cover of My Girl, actually, and Todd Kearns can hit the high note. In fact, a little bit beyond. He can still hit the high note from the dude from Sheriff, actually, if you know that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, but yeah, Chilliwack's awesome and been around for forever. So
yeah.
Okay, me. I think I'm doing a twofer because I can and because these albums are related. So we're going to go to Los Angeles, California, and show the most heavenly voice to ever grace music. My fantasy wife, Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles. Big Bangles fan, love it, right? I mean, it's top 40 bubblegum pop from the 1980s. I mean, everyone knows Manic Monday and everyone knows Walk Like an Egyptian. And even if you don't know the song Eternal Flame, as soon as you hear it, you go, oh, shit, I know that one too. So it's some big hits. This was the first album, which was called All Over the Place from 1984. They did 3 albums before they broke up at the end of the 80s, and then they reunited around 2000 and were together for another decade and put out 2 more albums after that. I've got all of them. So this is, I don't know if there's any big hits on here. Hero Takes a Fall, I think, was their big one off of here. It's probably the only, Going Down to Liverpool. I hate that song. I think those were the 2 singles. But so the Bangles, I'm a massive fan of Susanna Hoffs, that voice, among other things. And so related to that, I'm going to show this. Look at how amazing she looks there. She's 50-something in this picture. She's 60 now, but that's 50 years old. Good Lord. This is an album. She did 3 albums with Matthew Sweet, this dude right here, Under the Covers, where they covered songs written by other people. And this is the best of those 3 albums. So good. They're just, if you can picture the Bangles covering the Beatles, there you go, because they do. They do. She sings a cover of And Your Bird Can Sing. Yeah, it's just fun stuff. I don't have the individual albums because they're hard to find, but yeah, so there you go. Susanna Hoffs from Los Angeles. Matthew Sweet's actually from Nebraska, but had his career in LA, so we'll go with that. A couple years ago, he was playing in Toronto, 2024, and had a stroke and had to be airlifted back to the States for medical care. He's improving, but he'll probably never play guitar ever again. So lucky to be alive, though. He almost died. So there you go. The lovely Susanna Hoffs, my fantasy wife.
There is the story, and you may be able to relate it better, of her not quite being able to get Eternal Flame correct. So whoever the producer was suggested go in the studio and do it naked because it will make it vulnerable and it will make the song better. And he said because someone else did it, and then I think he lied in the end. But supposedly she did that, correct?
Yep. She has said that she did that, and I think about that every single time I hear that song.
Like
I'm thinking about it right now. You'll have to excuse me for a moment.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I can't remember if it was Olivia Newton-John and it was something that she did.
Something like that.
Was what he told her. But anyway, well, she got the desired effect because if you listen to that song, she nailed it. So that's what you're shooting for, right?
Let's not talk about nailing when Susanna Hoffs is naked.
All right. Sorry about that. Sorry.
We'll get this back on track here. Curtis saying, I still don't have any Chilliwack. Please don't tell customs, I may lose my passport. We won't tell them. They're not going to watch this anyway, so don't worry about it.
I have it all down there. That's what I was digging for. I just couldn't find, because I got the one with the mask, and I've got the early stuff that is a little more proggy or whatever, and then I've got the stuff with Communication Breakdown. That's my one bitch about Chilliwack, is they never play Communication Breakdown, and I really like that song. But anyway, I digress. I'm done. My turn?
You're not done because it's your turn now, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we went Vancouver or British Columbia. Then we went into Seattle. So now we're going to move down to Portland. And I got a couple from Portland, but I'll make my way down and then I'll come back up on my speed round. So I've shown these guys before. I had a chance to see them a little bit ago. Tim, I can't remember if you said you saw Everclear in the last little while. Maybe, no? Just really good. I wish I had the albums. I have them on CD. And this is actually really recorded very well. And it's kind of a cool seafoam green. But Everclear, some of the happiest sad songs you will ever hear, like Wonderful. If you listen to the lyrics, it is definitely not wonderful. And the gentleman that is their lead singer had a fairly hard early life, and a lot of the songs come from that. But stuff like AM radio, I really like AM radio. Santa Monica, I can hear Santa Monica all the time. So out of Portland, Oregon, but just really good stuff. And if you're looking for kind of a greatest hits, because they have one, but it's shitty because they did that thing where they screw with the songs and change them up and make them sound a little different because they thought that people didn't want to hear the originals anymore. I'm not exactly sure why bands do that. But get this, because it's good, and I think it's out there still. Live at the Whiskey. It's recorded very well, and it's got everything. Father of Mine, Wonderful, So Much for the Afterglow, Heroin Girl. It's all on here. So if you're looking for some Everclear and you want to get a greatest hits, we'll call it, this is the way to go versus the greatest hits that's out there. I
would love to get the So Much for the Afterglow album. I grew up on that when I was in high school. That is an amazing album.
Yeah, they all
and
really
I completely forgot about Everclear until you just brought them up. I got to write that one down. That's just
that was the thing. I mean, it's not. It was like, oh man, Everclear's coming. That's awesome. It was one of those bands where, you know, like the Goo Goo Dolls are coming, and maybe if they were playing here in Regina, I'd probably go see the Goo Goo Dolls. They're up in Saskatoon in March, so there's always shitty roads and everything else. But I was super excited to remember Everclear, or to actually know that they were coming back and doing some sets, and they sounded fantastic. He's the only main member, but you know, and that's not fair to say that that's all you really need from original Everclear. It's not like, you know, it's not like Nirvana.
Yeah,
Dave and Chris.
He's actually a really good host too. Like he does so Art Alexakis, he actually does like I think it's on I don't know what it is. Some kind of a streaming thing anyway. Not Spotify, but the Sirius XM.
Yeah.
I think he has like a show that's on there, and he's a pretty decent host.
Yeah. It was a good show. It was all the songs you wanted to hear. They sounded really, really good. He sounded good. You know, a couple little stories here and there. Very good show if you get a chance to see Everclear, and that's definitely one to pick up if you're kind of looking for a best of versus the greatest hits that they put out. And their originals are really super tough to find because I don't think they ever reissued them. So maybe, but I don't remember them reissuing them. It's good stuff.
Okay. Sorry, I said to go say goodnight to the boy.
Thank you, Trevor. I see that. I thought it was a different guy, but you're right. Now that you say it, that is correct. Yeah, kind of, but not really, because it's live, so it kind of ends up being a greatest hit. It wasn't official a greatest hit. I got one for you in here somewhere, Chris, if you're staying away. I think. I don't know.
All right, Tim, take it away.
All right. Let's go with I've always liked this band. It's a West Coast band. I was at I just learned they've been on tour this year. I went to see Bruce Cockburn a couple weeks ago, and said buddy that went to Chilliwack back in early November went to see these guys, and I didn't know that one of them passed away recently. But I saw them before when they were still they were a group of 4, but they've only been 3 for quite some time, and now they're only 2. But these guys here, the Grapes of Wrath,
Oh, good one.
These guys
Very
are
nice.
great. These guys are awesome. They're kind of like a pop rock with a bit of folk elements. I can't even explain, but it's
That's pretty fair.
Canadian. It's
Yep.
got the Canadian sound. But these guys are fantastic. This particular they have a few albums, like 3 or 4, I want to say, but this is their first one, I believe, and it's really strong. All the things I wasn't, what was going through my head. Do you want to tell me? Blah, like very strong album, very strong. But these guys I've always liked. If you haven't heard them, I suggest checking them out.
Yeah, their song "I Am Here" is amazing.
I Am Here, yeah.
Yeah, that's not on that one, eh?
It is not. Yeah, it's not
And
on this
Kevin,
one, but
is it Kevin, their lead singer? I can't remember. He's also playing.
yeah.
with the-
So
yeah.
it's either I think it's this guy,
I think so. Yeah, he's with the
and then
Pikes.
and then he's with him, and then I guess this guy is the one. I had no idea, but he just recently passed away, and he's been away from the band for a while.
Yeah.
But it was these 3 for the longest time, and now it's just these 2.
Yeah, and like I said, I think in that picture, because he's much older, I think it's Kevin is his name. Maybe I don't know if I can. Yeah,
Kevin, he's the drummer, right? The drummer.
No, he was lead singer.
Oh, Kevin.
Or, yeah,
Let me
he
see.
was. He's playing with the Northern Pikes these days because Merle's not playing with them.
Oh, you're right.
anymore,
You're
so he's
absolutely
taking
right.
over.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you're
So-
absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Kane.
Yeah.
And then
And
Tom
still
Hooper,
do, and so and it's kind of cool because they do a couple of or 3 Grapes of Wrath songs when you go see the Northern Pikes because he's with them.
Yeah.
So you get a couple of
Yeah.
Grapes of Wrath songs with the Pikes playing the instruments, and yeah, it's pretty good. So, and but
Nice.
great band, very good choice, great
Yeah.
choice.
Great choice.
Awesome.
I never see Grapes of Wrath records anywhere, but if I did, I would buy them. Never seen them in
Oh,
the wild.
they come around if I see one and they come around every once in a while in Ottawa. If I see another one, I'll grab it.
Cool, man. Yeah, I don't actively look for it, but if I had seen it, I would grab it without question.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like
Yeah.
the Spirit of the West. I've never seen that in the wild.
Same.
Never seen it.
Yep. Okay. Daryl.
Well, because Rob gives me permission to do this, I'm also going to do a twofer.
Give her.
And they both go hand in hand here. And I know, Joe, you've shown these guys before for sure. But I think they're fantastic as a duo, and I know that the one of them obviously is in a band as well. And so I'll go with
Oh, I was gonna pull that, but I didn't.
Hyde. This is
I'm
the
glad you did.
Under the Volcano album, which has Dirty Water on it, which is the one song that I really remember. And once again, it's kind of like that whole, I don't want to say that they're Chilliwack because they're not Chilliwack, they're a duo. But it's that 80s, mid 80s pop rock sound, right? Your Northern Pikes, your Haywire, all those guys. It kind of reminds me of that kind of thing. And it's not new wave. Some people call it new wave. I don't think it's new wave. I think it's more rock music. But you got your Rock and Hyde, and of course Paul Hyde, part of the Payolas. So I'm gonna go with the Payolas as well. And these guys are amazing too. So I forget what's on this. Here's the World for You. You're the Only Love. I think that's the big hit that's on here. You're the Only Love. I think that's the only one that's on here. That was a big hit. But I mean, these guys were all over Canadian radio for the longest time. So yeah, got to give props to Paul Hyde, the Payolas, and Rock and Hyde. Yeah, if you're
That
looking
Rock
for
and
something
Hyde-
new
that
there,
Rock
Chris
and Hyde
Mann,
album is
I think Chris
awesome.
Mann might appreciate the Payolas.
Yeah,
That
you
album
might.
is
Yeah,
awesome, Daryl.
What's that?
That album is awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will.
for sure.
The blind, the deaf, and the lame. I love. That's probably my favorite off that album.
they were just solid. Like right back to China Boys, and obviously Eyes of a Stranger was the monster hit. But
Yeah.
Hammer on a Drum, Never Said I Loved You with Rough Trade. What's the hell's her name? I can't remember. We just talked about her somewhere.
Oh, Carol
Carol Pope.
Pope. Yeah.
Pope.
Yeah, good, just good stuff. And then Bob Rock did a couple things after. Couple things.
Exactly.
Yes.
He is. Bob
He
Rock
is.
is.
Jeff, Speaker's Corner. How you doing, my friend? Haven't seen you in ages. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. We're talking bands from the West Coast. Could be West Coast of Canada. Could be West Coast of the United States. Could be West Coast of South America. Could be West Coast of the United Kingdom, also known as Wales. So Chris doesn't get all bent out of shape. So we're talking West Coast for no other reason than Joe came up with the idea. So there you go.
I thought I had, but I didn't, because I was going to go with West Coast of Australia as well, because there's Perth, right? There's lots of bands from Perth. Just there's not lots of big bands. So we'd need to have an Aussie on, and we'd probably get some West Coast Australia music as well. So
I was going to do that too, but to find a band from Perth was super hard. Like, I was going through the list of bands, and I'm like,
yeah,
I've never even heard of 90% of these guys. But I think the East Coast, if we ever did an East Coast one, I'd have an easier time getting East Coast Australian bands than I would East Coast Canadian ones for me. I don't have a lot of East Coast stuff.
Yeah,
I got to get more.
Yeah, because Perth was really about it, and there's the Tame Impalas, and then they had In Excess listed in there, but really just the Ferris brothers were from there, and then they all moved to Sydney and they went from there. So, okay, sorry, Rob, your turn. Go ahead.
It's all good. I'm just here for my looks. So.
Well, you're doing nice.
Doing a terrible job of it.
Have you guys ever heard of the band The Other Ones? They're not
No.
they're from Sydney as well. I get strange looks when I mention that band, but it was a guy that was in a band. Fuck, what was the name of it? I don't remember. The Radio Spliff Show. And then he broke from them and he formed The Other Ones. I don't know. I'm hoping that there's some Australian fans out there, but I get weird.
Where's Ben Rankin?
It's an 80s band.
Yeah.
But
if you're watching this later,
curious if anyone's ever heard of
who
it.
the hell Tim is talking about, leave something in the comments for us. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. Shut up. I think I got one Canadian left. Yeah, the rest are all American. From British Columbia, band I love so much. Too bad they're not around anymore. They were originally called the Dustin Bentall Outfit. Joe knows who I'm talking about. They then changed their name to Dustin Bentall and the Smokes. God, I loved this band. Dustin Bentall is the son of Barney Bentall, which, if you're a Canadian of a certain age, you will remember Barney Bentall and the legendary Hearts from the late 80s and early 90s. This is his son. I know Dustin. I saw this when they were around, and they've been broken up now for well over a decade. When they were a band, I saw them every time they were in town, and they toured Ontario a lot. So I got to know Dustin. I got to know Kendall, his fiddle player. I got to know Del Calcio, his bass player. I love these guys. They are, I would say it's country western fused with stoner rock. What do you think, Joe? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
There's a lot of songs about getting high off your ass. So
yeah,
I don't get high off my ass. Is not my thing, but the songs are still great, and I just love this. So this is the only vinyl you'll find. His best album is actually called Six Shooter. It's only on CD, but on vinyl you can get this. It's called Orion, You Are an Island, which he had an EP called Orion, and he had another EP called You Are an Island. They put them together, reordered the tracks, and came up with this album. And it is really, really fantastic. Absolutely love this record. So there you go, Dustin Bentall and the Smokes.
I went looking for him in BC. I couldn't find him. The shop, I think, closed, unfortunately. So
closed his shop. I don't know what he's doing nowadays. I mean, he's still playing with his dad because every winter his dad does the Grand Caribou Opry, which is kind of a touring, Grand Ole Opry kind of show, and Dustin still plays in that. But I don't know what he's doing beyond that. I haven't seen him in several years, so it's a shame. He put out a couple. His last EP was a little underwhelming, I gotta say, and then he joined another band called Hunting, and that album was okay, but he hasn't put out music in probably 5 years. I know he got married and had a couple kids, so I guess he's just being a normal person nowadays. So.
Making leather products and being a normal.
I I don't think he necessarily needs to work because the Bental family, aside from being musicians, are incredibly wealthy. They're a land holding the company that has or landholders. They own half of the skyscrapers in downtown Vancouver. So I don't know that he necessarily needs to work too much. So there you go. So anyway, good stuff. You probably won't find it. It's a band, unfortunately, that's not around anymore. But they've all gone off and done their other things for better or worse. His drummer is now Brian Adams' drummer. So yeah, and his fiddle player now plays with Alan Doyle and Shania Twain and other people. So his band has gone on to do other things, but still a good group of people. Good evening, Douglas Gilbert. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Good evening.
We're talking West Coast bands tonight. And Joe's going to give us another West Coast band right now.
Yes. Okay. Canada, Seattle, Portland. Not that you need me to do that, but San Francisco is up next. And I went with this one, Carlos Santana and Supernatural. I have no idea why I had it on CD, and for some reason it wasn't around. And then I looked at my supplier the other day, and it was there, and I said, yes, please, because this is just such a killer album. Some fantastic artwork as well. This is the reissue in the last little while, but and I always joke around and I say that this Carlos kid, if he ever practiced guitar a little bit, he might get pretty damn good. So, but
Is that the one with the Rob Thomas song on it?
It is, with Rob Thomas and with Everlast on it. But yeah, so the more rocky or whatever you want to call it versions of songs are great, and the Latin music that's on here is fantastic, and it's just such a beautiful album. And I'm a big Carlos Santana fan. I can't play a lick of a single note of guitar. I love guitars. I love the look of guitars. I love the sound of guitar. And I love the way that Carlos Santana plays guitar. So there you go. So Santana out of San Francisco. Of course, he's got, a little bit more of the Spanish Mexican flair to his music, but out of San Francisco, California. So
have a good night, Chris.
Good night, Christopher.
Hey, Chris.
Get to bed.
Have a good one, Chris.
I remember when Smooth, I think, is a song with Rob Thomas, right? That was all over much music back in the day.
Yeah.
It was, I would say, probably introduced Santana probably to my generation, I would think. I remember Santana fondly because when I was, 14 and just getting into music and listening to the Beatles, my dad bought me a copy of Abraxas. He's like, you have to listen to this.
Yeah.
And while I didn't really appreciate it then, I listened to it, when I was 30 and went, holy shit, incredible. Yeah. I love him as a guitar player. He's amazing.
And artwork as well, because as the typical vinyl guy says, it's about the artwork as well, but it really is. Mm-hmm. And he had some fantastic artwork, including and maybe most notably Abraxas as well back in the day, because it was a little controversial at the time. But screw it, I'm putting it out, and it's held on. And yeah, it's fantastic. So,
yep. Yeah, Oye Como Va and Black Magic Woman are amazing songs too. Are those on that album, Rob? The Abraxas
on
one?
Abraxas?
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
The quad mix of Abraxas is worth grabbing. I know I'm not an audiophile, so I'm probably content with my original, but I like Black Magic Woman. Not a Santana song, a Fleetwood Mac song. And he just covered it. So, what happened to Tim? He disappeared.
It's like, screw you. He disagrees with you. I'm out of here. Fuck.
I'm out of here.
I'm gone.
It's like, screw you guys. All right. Well, come back, Tim, if you want. Maybe his internet died. Who knows? So we can't make Tim's turn now. So I guess we got to make Daryl's turn. And if Tim comes back, we'll
put him in
Darryl,
line.
Feed him in. All right. So I'm going to kind of tail off just briefly of your last pick there, Rob. Because I did have Barney Bentall and the Legendary Hearts. This one I actually just picked up out of a bargain bin for like $5. As soon as I saw it, I was like, Rob's got this. So
That's
I'm
a
not gonna
great
talk
record.
much about it, but it's got Something to Live For, which is a freaking killer track. If you haven't heard it, check out Something to Live For by him. And this actually is this one here is my last Canadian one as well. And that is none other than Doug Bennett, Doug and the Slugs with the Tomcat Prowl, which they've got some really fantastic. This is kind of one of those quirky Canadian bands that they just did some fun stuff. I would almost associate this with almost not full out late 70s, early bar music, but you could see these guys just playing in all the bars all along the highway. That's what I think when I think these guys. But this is Tomcat Prowl. Too Bad was another good song by them. I forget what some of the other tracks are. I want to get the other albums that he does because they're absolutely fantastic. So a spin-off with Barney Bentall and Doug and the Slugs. Once again, a quirky 80s sound. It's different than the other Canadian styles of the 80s, but that's a neat one.
It is good. Yeah. Good pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah.
And Tim's back. He didn't run away.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, good, man.
He's back.
My computer crapped.
So maybe you just disagreed with Rob on Black Magic Woman, and you just said,
I thought you were just like, screw this guy. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, which is true. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So.
Some black magic going on with my computer.
Yeah, exactly. So we just skipped you, but now you're back. So
it's all right. All right. So yeah, here's another band, another Canadian band, which I really like. If they're very synthy, very proggy, from the early '80s to mid '80s, I think. I think they broke up in '87 or so. They've only got 3 albums, and they still tour. Just the one guy, but the lead singer he sounds very Bowie. I don't know if you guys know where I'm going with this.
I can see the back, so
and that would be Strange Advance. These guys are awesome. This is a great album. This is one of those albums where, like, Worlds Away in and itself is just it's like an 8-minute opus, and it just meanders through.
Tim is breaking up a little bit, but not to speak for Tim as he's broken up now and frozen. But Daryl, you're a Strange Advance guy. You had some Strange Advance.
But they also have.
I actually have. I don't even know Strange Advance, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, never heard of them.
Yeah, that they have.
I think if you heard a couple of their songs, you'd know them. So
I Will. I ran or We Ran.
Yeah. We Run. That one, which I don't do justice to in any way, shape, or form. Tim is rebooting. He froze again. But yeah, I think, Daryl, if you heard a couple of Strange Advance songs, you'd probably go, oh, yeah, I heard those. Because 80s, Canadian 80s music, like Platinum Blonde and Strange Advance. And
yeah.
Genre-ish. So, I mean, not to run them in with those guys, but that ilk, lots of keyboards, kind of like Paolo's a little bit in the 80s as well. Same type of thing. So,
yeah, I'll have to definitely give them a listen because some reason I can't picture them.
Yeah, I think if you seek out the track We Run, you'll go, oh yeah, I know that song. I think maybe not, but yeah. So he was freezing up while you were gone. So he'll be back, I think. Hey, look there.
He's coming back right now.
He's coming back. It must be really, really, really freaking windy in Ottawa tonight.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's not you and I getting a snowstorm today. Maybe it's him.
I don't. Yeah. Well, when I came down here before the stream, it was coming down. I don't know what's going on.
Tim didn't pay the internet bill, so Rogers is dialing back his bandwidth. That's what it is.
He's getting throttled. Yeah.
Or it doesn't like, or it doesn't like Strange Advance.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go California, and I'm going to go Laurel Canyon. But not what you think. A band I've talked about before. Love these guys. Dawes. The Goldsmith Brothers. These guys are fantastic. They've been around for 15 years, I think. and they probably have 8 or 9 albums, I think, at this point. They're now based in LA. The LA Wildfires, the last Wildfires, they actually, Taylor Goldsmith, the older brother who's the front man and the songwriter, they lost their house and their studio was at the house. So they lost their gear, their archival recordings. They lost everything, which is unfortunate. But yeah, these guys, that sort of Laurel Canyon indie rock kind of sound from the 2010. I don't really know how to describe it. They're just good songwriting. Their album, Nothing Is Wrong, which came out around, I think, 2010, is one of my favorite albums ever. Fantastic. This is called Good Luck with Whatever, and it came out in 2020. I really like this. Their albums after this, I have declining degrees of interest. They put out an album a couple years ago called Misadventures of Doom Scroller, which everyone raved about, and it bored me to death. I just thought it was too abstract, and I like my songs to be a little structured, and it was just too boring, jammy, but in a boring kind of way. So it just didn't do it for me. But they got a run of about 5 albums that I absolutely love. So this is Good Luck with Whatever. It's hard to see, but this is autographed by the band. It is a gatefold, so I have to show it. There you go. So Good Luck with Whatever by Dawes. But I encourage you, if you want to check out Dawes, go look for their album, Nothing Is Wrong. Very, very good.
Cool.
Yeah. Ryan saying Ottawa must be getting rocked by the windstorm.
Yeah.
We're all going to get rocked by either wind or snow, except for Daryl, where it's, shorts in the prairies right now.
He meant me, but I know what you knew what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the top, right, Joe?
Yep. What do we got? It's like 8:30, right? Yeah, we're good still.
We're good.
Okay. I was doing them in geographical order. That's why I didn't just bring this up earlier when we were talking about West Coast rap. But this is West Coast, East Coast, Tupac and Biggie and the battle and all the rest, et cetera, et cetera. This is a double album. This is kind of, if you're looking for Tupac, this is, I think, what you want. For the general listener, Suge Knight produced it, Death Row Records, but it is a 4-album, book 1, book 2, they call it. But and again, not a huge fan, but I appreciate it, and I know the big names. I know this. I know NWA. I know Biggie. I know the Wu-Tang Clan. I know some of that stuff. I know Eminem. I enjoy some of it. I don't enjoy much of it. And that's not because I'm a 60-year-old white dude. If there's something to it, I'll enjoy it. So, and I enjoy this. I came to this not instantaneously, but it came up in a collection, and it was one that I could have sold, but I decided to keep it, and I listened to it, and I enjoyed it, so it stayed in the collection. So there you go. And I don't know if you can get much more, and it doesn't quite fit in this sleeve. I think I need to get a new sleeve for it. I know where to get them though, but I'm not going to talk about that today. So. West Coast rap.
So my question is that like a greatest hits kind of thing there, Joe?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean,
does it have like California Love and Changes and all that on it?
It does. Yes. Yeah, it does. It's got all of that. I mean, there's some remixes and stuff like that on here, but it's 2 double albums. So it's like 4 albums. It's pretty much, like I said, I think if you were going to get something and you didn't want to pick albums up individually, I'm going to rewrap it later because that doesn't fit. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. But it does have all of that. So, yeah, Dr. Dre and other things that I can't say because they can say it, I can't say it, and I'm not going to say it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, Tupac.
Okay. To interrupt the streamer just for a minute, we mentioned this off the top, but it's been confirmed the Jays have signed Dylan Cease 7 years, $210 million. Second largest contract in franchise history.
Second only to Mr. Guerrero.
Get off your ass and sign Bichette now. Jesus.
So where's he going to fit?
Well,
Fourth?
I mean,
Third?
we're probably not going to get Scherzer back, and if we do, is he going to? I don't think he's going to be a starter, right? So
No, he'll be every
Like
twice
fourth
around
and fifth,
maybe if
maybe?
Scherzer comes back.
yeah, exactly. And who knows what these Barrios coming back? Is he still going to be injured? Who knows? So,
Cool. That's good though. That's good.
Oh,
Glenn, welcome. All right, Tim, you're up. I think. Am I right? Yes.
You are right.
I haven't screwed it up yet, but there's
No,
still
you're
time.
doing well.
There's still time.
You the man, cool guy.
I don't know about that.
You had to
Alright.
be.
Well, yeah, these guys. Yeah. So these guys are from California, and Joe, I'm surprised you haven't shown these guys yet. I know you're a big fan, and that would be none other than The Offspring.
Yay.
Yeah, I wasn't. Unlike if Joe's not going to show them, I will.
Yeah, there you go. I just
There it
didn't
is, eh?
didn't pull them because I show them often. So
Are we allowed to show the gatefold? Okay, yeah, we are. Not much to it, but
no, just
There
the
it
bug.
is.
Yeah.
yeah, it is autographed, but it is in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
So it's all smudged, and look, Dexter's there.
Dexter
but
is
it's like
noodle.
yeah, he tried to sign it twice because it
That's
was
okay.
like pouring rain, so it didn't come out very good. But there it is. These
You got
guys
the-
were awesome, and they're
you got
coming
the-
back around again. So
One more. At least that's what they say. I don't know if they're definitely those kind of guys that will just
Yeah.
keep saying it's the last time, but
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
I hope
they
so.
never disappoint.
I go
Yeah.
see him again.
And
They
it's
were
a great. It's not. I prefer. What's the album before this? The Smash, right?
Smash. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Smash is.
I find that's a little bit better than this one, but yeah, thought I'd show this one, but expecting that
Fair
maybe you. So had to get some Offspring in.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
that's the more humorous album of the two.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
Smash is like more serious punk. That one there is more humorous. Like Get a Job is a hilarious track and
Yeah.
pretty fly for a
Well,
white guy.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the Get a Job is like I'm surprised they didn't get sued for Obla Di Obla Da or something, unless I don't know.
Dexter says
Don't
it's not.
don't
Obla Di
start
Obla
something or
Da.
Dexter might get sued.
I can't remember what Dexter says. He tongue in cheek. He said it's another song too, but it's Obla Di Obla Da. It is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But he did he did his own. And it works.
Yep. You are pretty fly for a white guy, Tim.
That's it, man.
All right. So we've talked about Nirvana, we've talked about Alice in Chains, we talked about Soundgarden. Going back to Seattle, and I'm going to finish off the grunge theme here. I think with probably the other famous grunge band, and that's Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. This is the 10 album, and for the longest time, I never really liked them. The album that I heard first by them was the Vitalogy one, and for some reason, I couldn't get into that one for the longest time. I had a friend that used to listen to it, and there's a song on Vitalogy called Bugs, and I absolutely hate it. It's like Rob would say with Bob Dylan. It's like ass on cheese grater sound. I
Cheese
just
grater
can't stand
sound,
it.
yeah.
But Pearl Jam's 10 has a lot of their big hits, right? It's got Once, it's got Even Flow Alive. It's the one that has Jeremy, which obviously was not obviously, but I mean, it was a pretty big controversy with the music video. And the whole idea, right? The education behind classroom shootings and depression with teenagers and stuff like that. So, oddly enough, I bought this on CD when I was in university, and I used to listen to it as my study music, along with Yanni's Reflections of Passion. I had both of them. I would just alternate, and so it's kind of you do you kind of thing, right? But it's so funny that I would alternate those two in my CD Walkman and study to them. So yeah, no, I think that this is a great one. The only other one that I would want by Pearl Jam is probably the Versus one, which has that weird cover on it with the sheep head or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. I can only handle Eddie Vedder in small doses, though. I find his vocals are too
Chanty.
too depressing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I thought Alice in Chains was depressing, but I find Eddie Vedder is just too depressing for me.
Eddie's an acquired vocalist for sure, but
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
loved to have seen them back in the day. Like when that album came out, it was just, I think they would have just been unbelievably good then. And actually on my list of bands I have never seen that are still on my list. So
Yeah.
I think think they'll come around one more time. They had that album out a couple years ago. And that I'm gonna go next time. I didn't go the last time, but I'm gonna go next time. I think there'll be another next time.
I hear they're awesome live.
Yeah, I think still. I think it would have been crazy, like back when Eddie was climbing light rigs and doing all that crazy shit. And yeah.
What about that album Yield? Is Yield any good? I see that pop up a lot.
Yeah, Yield is it's got that song Wish List on it, I think.
I don't know much about them. I just see that album a lot. So I'm just...
Yeah, it's okay. It's definitely the tail end of that grunge stuff. What was it, 97? I think it was released. Definitely the tail end of it. I bought it as a blind buy in high school just on CD. And the first time I listened to it, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't 10. This isn't Versus.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different sound from those ones. And I think the album that was released before that was Vitalogy. And so going from Vitalogy to Yield was a complete 180. Yeah.
They mixed it up, that's for sure. Rob, I kind of can see who you're going to talk about next, and I love it, I think.
Yeah. Well, maybe. All right. So I've got 2 honorable mentions I'm just going to show to get out of the way because I have a stack here that are important. So, No Doubt from Anaheim, California. I'm not going to show Tragic Kingdom. I got Return of Saturn, which is their follow-up album. Pretty good. Jefferson Airplane from San Francisco. I mean, we could probably do a whole video on that whole San Francisco music scene. But, Maslov's the expert on that stuff, so maybe we'll leave that to him. Those aren't what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show part of this stack now and part on the next round when we wrap it up. But all these albums are all related because there was a community of musicians in the greater Los Angeles area in the late 60s, early 70s that my Habs hat just fell off Darth Vader's head sitting on my desk. That's weird.
Is that a sign of some sort? Or?
I don't know. I have Darth Vader sitting right here, and there's normally a Montreal Canadiens hat on him, and it just fell off. Weird. These musicians helped shape each other's career. They all played on each other's albums, and it's kind of like the VC where we all appear on each other's channels. Same kind of idea. I'm going to show 3 of them this round. We're going to show with the person that I think is the greatest female singer ever, and that's Linda Ronstadt. Not a native of California, but she moved to LA, and that's where she started her music career, and that's where her music career took off, and that's where she collaborated with a whole host of other people. I think her voice is incredible. Not really known as a songwriter, but everything she did was a cover. But she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a reason. This woman is amazing. This is her album Heart Like a Wheel, which came out in, 74. You're No Good. It Doesn't Matter Anymore. When Will I Be Loved? Yeah. And all these songs are written by pretty renowned musicians. She has a roster of people that appear on her albums, which are, sort of the who's who. So I'm going to show this one first. And then I'm going to show this one. The Eagles from the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. They originally started as Linda Ronstadt's backing band. She was friends with Glenn and Dawn before they were friends with each other. She recruited both of them to be in her band. And then, it was her manager, whoever, hired Randy Meisner and Bernie Leadon. And they became her backing band, and they were so good, they went, oh, well, we should maybe make our own music. And so Linda Ronstadt's backing band became the Eagles. And I'm going to show this, which very few people even know about. This is a band called Long Branch Pennywhistle. And Long Branch Pennywhistle is Glenn Frey from the Eagles and Linda Ronstadt's backing band, and another songwriter named J.D. Souther, who wrote songs for Linda Ronstadt. So it all goes around in a circle. Before the Eagles, J.D. and Glenn had a band called Long Branch Pennywhistle, did one album. It sounds Eagle-ish, if you want, Eagles Light, if you will. So there's the first part of my Los Angeles early 70s community of cooperative musicians. Let's go that way.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
There you go. And no comments. So there you go. I said nothing of interest to anybody. So we'll kick it over to Joe then.
All right. What are we doing? Are we doing?
I was going to go with the Eagles. I was going to do the long run, but then I was like, Rob has got to show the Eagles at some point.
Of course.
So
of course.
I'll let you have that one.
Let's make this the last round, because by the time each of us does kind of a speed round, we got 15 minutes left. That's going to take us 20 minutes to do that. So perfect.
All right. So I'm past LA and I am now in San Diego and the Stone Temple Pilots. And Tim, as an autograph guy, you may notice who is missing on this album. The guy that you would want to have the autograph on.
Oh, no.
No, Scott. I don't know. I got this in a collection. I didn't get this myself. But I'm not sure. They talked everybody else into it, but no Scott Whalen. And he's not on the back and he's not on the inside either. But I am a borderline Stone Temple Pilots fan. I don't really like them, and I definitely don't dislike them. I like Scott Whalen when he's with Velvet Revolver, when he sings in Velvet Revolver a little bit more than I do than the Stone Temple Pilots. But purple, and I think it is purple. I can't remember. But anyway, it is autographed, except it's missing. It's not purple, except it's missing the one that you would probably want to have on there, which is Scott Whalen. And you're not going to get it anymore because Scott no longer with us. So San Diego, California. And while we're there, we'll stay in San Diego, California. I'll put the sleeve on later. Probably the biggest, I don't know, out of San Diego, Blink-182, Travis Barker and company. I would think, based on some of the other bands I like The Offspring and like Green Day and like all of that, that I would like Blink-182 more. And again, I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. This is a greatest hits, but that's kind of what I need from them. Although from what I understand, the new one is awesome as well. New-ish one. It's a couple years old now, but yeah. And to lump them in with those guys, I'm not sure if that's fair or not, but I would say it's kind of that California punk, Green Day, Blink-182, that type of stuff. So San Diego, and then we'll make our way quickly back up the coast. We'll go back to Los Angeles for a moment. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think they are definitely synonymous with West Coast and with California and with that punk whatever sound, punk rock mix, kind of the godfathers of that. The one I'd like to find is I never find Fight Like a Brave. I can never find that. That is a little tough to find because I kind of like that earlier Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff. But and I don't ever need to hear Californication ever again. But this is a really good album. And Blood Sugar Sex Magic as well is a very good album. Back to Portland, another band that kind of falls into the punk, whatever you want to call it, genre. Not whatever, it is punk, power punk, pop punk, California punk. Rancid and Out Come the Wolves. Got a chance to see these guys a couple years ago, and they were very, very good. Ruby Soho on here and some other hits. Back up to, no, that was not Portland. That was San Francisco, pardon me. Actually, Berkeley, California, to be quite suspicious. Jesus Christ. Specific.
Or Pacific.
Pacific, exactly.
Be quite Pacific.
Exactly. That makes sense.
I'm here all night, folks.
And Louie, their only hit, and but what a hit it was. These guys are from Portland, so there. Now that's in your head.
Hard to believe that the Kingsmen were investigated by the freaking FBI and everything. I believe it was. Was it them that was investigated for the whole F-bomb or whatever it was that was on there, and a big conspiracy? Just
and well, what are you trying to say with Louie? What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. It's I want to get chicks and drink beer. That's what Louie means. But anyway, the FBI Yeah. Anyhow, lastly, back up to Seattle. Not necessarily grunge, but a little more. I don't know. Sunny Day Real Estate. Good stuff. I like it. Might surprise some that I've got it. It's a nice red album. And more so the reason that I pulled this out, not because I don't enjoy it, but Sub Pop Records. If you're going to talk about West Coast bands in Seattle, Sub Pop Records is kind of the label. And some cool artwork on this one. So this one is on Sub Pop. And so I think that if you're talking about the West Coast and you're talking about a lot of the bands from Seattle and in and around that area, Sub Pop definitely comes up. So there's your Sub Pop and your final band, because I blew my Canadian load earlier with 5440 when they were going to be the last ones. But anyway, that was things that sound dirty but aren't. Okay, I'm done.
All right, Tim.
Oh, it's just I have funny every time I see Blink 182. Who's the lead guy? Tom.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Tom
Yeah,
DeLonge.
I can't remember, but
Tom DeLonge.
My wife's a massive, was at the time a massive fan of his, and I guess she and her cousin paid to get like meet and greets and stuff like that. This is going way back, like 15, 20 years ago, and he signed just tons of stuff for them. And when I met my wife, when she brought all her crap over when we moved in together, she had this box of like folded posters, signed CDs, all crunched up, and I'm like, "What the?" As a collector, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" She's like, "What?" I'm just so every time I see Blink 182, I just. But she. I
have one quick question. Does she know that you call her stuff crap? I'm wondering. I don't know. Does she watch this? Will she know you called her stuff crap?
No.
Okay.
It's just a funny story every time I see that. Just brings me back to that time where I freaked out because she had all this awesome stuff just crumpled up, folded up in a box.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, so here's a You Beat Me To It round with a few extras. Rob, You Beat Me To It. I was going to show the Eagles.
So jealous that's signed by Joe Walsh.
Yeah. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need, exactly.
Daryl, You Beat Me To It. Chilliwack.
That is a killer album, though. I listened to that the other day.
Yeah, Fly By Night.
Fly By Night, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a great song.
Yeah, it's a killer album. But here I got a couple. I know we talked about Nirvana, but I do like the Foo Fighters. I do like them. They're good.
Yep.
They have a couple good songs.
They're okay, yep.
Yeah. But I think I might have shown this before, and she doesn't get much love, and she's from Alberta. Actually, two from Alberta. So I think both of these singers are from Alberta, and they both don't get enough love. One being Katie Lang. I really like this album a lot. Great voice. Yep. Mm-hmm. And also from Alberta, Jan Arden.
Oh, I love Jan Arden. Yeah. I used to listen to Jan Arden around the same time I started listening to Amanda Marshall.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic female singers, vocalists.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the first album to get pressed. They don't have the first album out yet. But yeah. And then what else do I have? I don't know if they're West Coast or not, but I threw in Burton Cummings. Is he West-ish?
I'd call that Central. So
Central.
We'll disqualify that one.
All right. Yeah. I just can't. Okay. That's all right. And
they've probably played the Commodore in Vancouver, but that's as much as I'll give you West Coast for Burton, because he's a Winnipeg guy now living in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, so, I'm surprised we haven't talked about him at all, because I know he comes up 26 times every stream. I came in, it's funny, last week I came in late on the stream, heard you guys talking about him, like, oh my God, Brian Adams.
Come up once. Exactly.
I mean, so
we got to talk about him.
You get Brian on the technicality. He's from Kingston, but his studio, the warehouse, is in Vancouver. So we'll give you that one. Also, because it aggravates Joe. So.
Right.
Yeah. No, I would. Yeah. Because you're right. He's from Kingston, but I think he is much more associated with
Yeah.
Vancouver than he ever was with Kingston, right? So
Right.
yeah, you get that one. And Rob likes that it annoys me. So
Right.
Right.
And you could go Sweeney Todd because they were from Vancouver, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
Yeah, I don't have Sweeney Todd in my collection.
yeah, there's lots, and I don't think you've got any more Canadian one, Robs, but there's lots of good West Coast Canadian bands still. I just
Absolutely.
happened to decide on a topic or a route I was going to go with down the coast and back up the coast. But yeah, there's lots of great Canadian West Coast bands. So
Yep.
Good choices. The Chilliwack one. Take that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right. We will finish up West Coast tour. I'll finish up Seattle real quick here. It's not grunge. Before grunge, there were the Wilson sisters, Ann and Nancy from Seattle. So we'll go with Little Heart.
They're from the West Coast? I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, I didn't realize that either until I did the research on this. This is the one that has Never. It's got What About Love. This is a great album.
I think for the longest time, a lot of people thought they were Canadian even, and because they were on Mushroom to start with, right? And they played in Canada lots, but yeah, Seattle. So West Coast
they were like Canadian sisters, really. And then you got the what do you call that, thrash metal band that apparently sold out back in the day when they did the Black album. But I've also got Ride the Lightning out of Los Angeles. That's Metallica. And you want douchebags. I mean, there's a couple that are in this band that kind of fit that Don Henley thing and all that with the Napster thing. And out of El Sobrante, California, I couldn't do this episode. We're talking about Primus.
Nice.
And a lot of their songs are all about California and some of the neighborhoods they grew up in and all that. So, and this is a great album. And this is the inner sleeve, them dressed as penguins on an iceberg, which is hilarious. Seeing that they're from California. I think that's funny. And that's the one that's got Winona's Big Brown Beaver and a few other big tracks. Joe, I'm actually not surprised, a little surprised you didn't bring up these guys. Van Halen, Pasadena.
Yep.
And I just picked this one up. I do have the 5150. Could have shown that one too. But I've been actually this one here, I've been playing all week, this one. I love this album. It's one of my favorite albums of the 90s. And then to finish it all off, we don't talk enough about this guy, Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah.
Ooh. And this is the Small World album, which during my raid of the record station, this was still in shrink wrap, not even opened. This is a mint copy, not in shrink though. I know it was driving me nuts because I wanted to listen to it and make sure it wasn't warped. There's like an edge warp on it.
Grip it, rip it.
San Francisco, I think, maybe San Francisco, Oakland, something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, I'll bring it home. You recall last round I went Linda Ronstadt, the Eels, and Long Branch Penny Whistle. Still in that same collective of musicians, we're going to go with this fella, Graham Parsons. This is his album Grievous Angel from 1974. We'll talk about what he did before this in a moment. This kind of a singer-songwriter, country rock kind of thing. Great album. Emmylou Harris is on here. There's a whole bunch of other people on here as well, and I can't recall. Linda Ronstadt is on here. Bernie Leadon is on here. So all the people from that group of musicians. Unfortunately, he died of a heroin overdose at the age of 27. So it could have been something more than what he was, but he was what he was. Before he recorded that album, though, along with Chris Hillman, he was a founding member of the Flying Burrito Brothers, who recorded this pretty well-known album, The Gilded Palace of Sin, which is kind of regarded as like the first country rock record. And it sort of, influenced the Eagles and everybody else. So, Flying Burrito Brothers.
That's a great album.
It is a great album.
Yep.
I'm going to show this Burrito Brothers album because they had some lineup changes, and Chris Hillman was the only one that was a constant member of the band. But this cheeky bugger playing hide and seek back here, that's one Bernie Leadon, who you remember played guitar for Linda Ronstadt and ended up being one of the founding members of the Eagles. It's all interwoven. And I'm going to finish it up with Jackson Browne, Running on Empty, obviously his biggest album, I think, and a terrible album cover. This, I think, this doesn't have the big hit, which was My Eyes, but Running on Empty is probably his second largest hit. His connection to this is he wrote a lot of songs that Linda Ronstadt covered, but also he was kind of the first person that Don Henley and Glenn Frey met when they were in the early days of forming the Eagles. And he's actually the guy that wrote Take It Easy, which was the Eagles' first hit. He was down, I guess he had an apartment downstairs from Glenn and Don, and he was working on that song, and he was stuck on it. And as he was playing it, Glenn came up with the line, I was standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. And that's kind of how the Eagles started. So a guy that worked with Linda, and a guy that wrote for the Eagles and had his own career. And there you go. I have more that fit into this sort of, we'll call it an artist collective, but it's interesting how they all, I should maybe make a video about this. But anyway, there's
it certainly helped that they all lived within like a 3-block radius of each other, right? Like that would have just been insane. And you just would have woke up in the morning, had your coffee and or not, and just went over to someone's house and started writing. It's kind of the thing going on, I think, a little bit in Nashville now, but it's a little more generic. I think now it's a little more produced, a little more planned in Nashville with all of the writers that are there. But yeah, just everybody, Joni and all those people in Laurel Canyon at that time would have just been fantastic. And it benefited everybody too. That's the thing. It's not like, there was one brains of the operation and then everybody started getting hits off of one guy. You just said, preaching to the choir. It was everybody threw something into the mix. Some added a little bit more than others. Some added some more songwriting, weren't so much the performers. Just unbelievable.
Yep.
You think of what
kind of a creative explosion, right? I mean, everyone's career took off, not just one person. So yeah, they all a rising tide floated all boats in that case, right? Correct. So, yeah, absolutely. So I've always been fascinated.
You should do a video of that. That would be a neat video.
Yeah, I think as I was talking about it, and like I said, I have more, and I go, hey, maybe there's something to this about how they all. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, so to speak. So,
Well, yeah, because there's Neil Young's in there, and there's David Crosby's in there, and there's all of that going on. So,
and the Birds.
We will leave that in your capable hands, man.
All right. I promise sometime in the next 12 to 16 months, I'll have the video out about that.
Perfect. That's excellent. That's all we ask. That's it.
Well, guys, that was a lot of fun. We successfully found enough bands to talk about for 2 hours, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do what we always do and go around the horn and let folks know what you got going on. Obviously, Tim doesn't have a channel, but any concerts coming up, Tim? Anything exciting?
Alan Doyle was in town last night. I didn't go. He was doing a book signing.
But I
didn't go. I know I got nothing this year. I
got
tickets
in the spring, I think, is when he starts out on the road again.
Yeah, he'll be. Yeah, he's
always on the road.
Oh yeah, he's a road whore.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, not too much going on. It's pretty lull right now. Goo Goo Dolls announced the tour. I'd like to go see them.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, Weird Al, I've got tickets too.
Nice.
But yeah, it's pretty quiet right now.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Daryl, what about you? What's going on?
Not a whole lot going on. I mentioned this on Chris's stream on the weekend. I was just putting out a whole crap load of thread response videos because I like doing them. I know lots of people are getting sick of them, but I think they're fun. And I did a couple of contest entries and all of that good stuff. But I think I was texting with you guys. I think in the new year, I'm going to do, obviously not the vinyl tag, but I think I'm going to do the Canadiana tag. I think I'm going to do this year.
I wholeheartedly endorse.
I don't think anybody's done it in a few years anyway. I don't know if anybody
I don't think it's been done
claimed
at
it
all.
or anything like that, but
I think the closest it came was when Sam did the Americana tag for the first time. I responded with all Canadian answers to the Americana questions. So I think that's the closest. So I said to Daryl, do it, man. I will jump on that like the day after you post it.
fair enough.
So, what about you, Joe? What's going on at the store?
Yeah, we've got our Saturday opening, which again, I know sounds ridiculous to everybody, but we are normally Monday to Friday. We're only open one Saturday a month, and that's coming up. So that's always busy. Christmas season coming up. People are ordering new stuff for presents and things like that. So that's keeping us out of trouble. And Black Friday record store day, we are not partaking in, but we're going to come up with some deals and some other ways of participating in it with some used instead of the new. So we're still going to be, we're just not doing it the official way because, we're just not. So there you go. And I have nothing in any way, shape, or form on my personal YouTube account. So I save all of my words of wisdom for our lovely Wednesday night show and any other live stream I can pimp myself out to. So.
Good one. As for me, I haven't done a lot of videos, but I did do a video that I was pretty proud of last week. I sat down and interviewed Glenn Milcham, the drummer from Blue Rodeo. That was a lot of fun. We chatted for about an hour, so that video is up on my channel. We had a great talk about more than just Blue Rodeo. We talked about some of his early days in music and some of the other bands he's played in and his thoughts on vinyl and a few other things. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And I may see if I can line up another interview or two, not Blue Rodeo interviews, but other people that I know in Canadian music. So that might happen. I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. So
I was going to say, when are you going to get Basil?
I mean, I could. He and I are friends on Facebook. I could shoot him a message. I don't know if he does those kind of things or not, but there's a few others that
two down, 4 to go, 3 to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, some of those are never going to happen, but
I know. I'm just,
but it was fun, and he was nice because it was something a little different than here's a record, right? So
yeah.
And I'm not, obviously I'm going to say good things because you're my friend, but
you don't have to.
But I might not, but I am, because it was a very good interview. You did a wonderful job.
Thanks.
Glenn was easy to listen to. You guys were just a nice conversation. So make sure you watch it, folks, because it's really, really good.
It's good.
And so there you go.
We may turn it into an episode for the Vinyl Community Podcast. Chances already asked me, so I want to check with Glenn to get his consent before I do that, because he didn't sign up for that. He signed up for so I'm sure he would have no problem with it, but. So that may come up on the podcast in the next few weeks. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So that's that. I got to do some more videos. When Daryl said people are getting sick of threads and all this, I'm not sick of other people doing threads. I think it's great. I just get tired of doing them. So there's some out there, and I think about it. I go, nah. I'm tired of doing the same things. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to find a way to. As you know, I've said before, I'm a little creatively stunted. I'm tired of just going, here's this record I bought. So I want to try and find a way to talk about the records in a different way, and I haven't really decided what that is. What I am going to do, though, because Americana Sam is my good friend, he's got an anniversary contest, so absolutely I will do that. So you'll probably see that up on the weekend. So that's what's in store for now. There we go.
Right on.
I am a 60-year-old man that is excited that Stranger Things is out. So I'm going to watch Stranger Things because it came out tonight.
Very good.
For some reason, I thought that series was over.
No,
Me too.
One more.
Me too.
I'm looking forward to it.
I loved season 1, and I liked season 2. I kind of lost interest partway through season 3. I think everyone tells me I should go back and watch season 3 because it's good, but I just lost interest.
I'm just looking forward to it. So, like every other 60-year-old man, it's target audience.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Well, on that note, thanks everyone that tuned in this evening. Thank you for joining us. We love chatting with you every week. And for those who are going to watch this later on, thanks for spending a couple hours with us. We will be back next week, Joe and Daryl and myself, and another special guest to talk about something that we probably won't decide until about Monday evening. So we'll see whatever that is. But we'll see everybody back next week. Good luck in the snowstorm, fellas. Don't hurt your backs throwing out all the snow. And, hopefully we don't get the 50 centimeters that they're calling for. So we'll see you tomorrow. So, all right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us.